Hey y'all, it's Sam and Happy New Year! In today's video I'm going to be using these markers, which if you don't already follow me on Twitter, Twitch, or Patreon, which, pro tip, it's free to follow me on Patreon and get emails whenever I post any public posts. But yes, I've been in a big Crayola fanatic phase. I've been really into Crayola recently, and for Christmas I got the multicultural set, and I've been really wanting to play around more with this. So yeah, enough intro. As so many planes keep flying by, let's go ahead and get into the artwork. So to quickly address me moving at hypersonic speed, this was done on a live stream, so that's why there's stuff all over the screen and why my face is moving very, very quickly. But yes, Crayola. I have been on a Crayola binge. This airplane can attest to it. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about where this sort of started, because I sort of can't even really remember. But looking through some old stuff on YouTube and on Twitter, I'm pretty sure, and also based off the video that I watched prior to recording this video, my Crayola Markers challenge number 1, which was a cheap art supply challenge that I did back in November of 2015. And I decided to buy Crayola Markers. I don't know the motivation behind specifically buying that product, but according to that video, that was the first time as an adult that I had used these supplies, and I very much underestimated them at the time. I'll go ahead and link to that video if you want to watch it. And that was kind of my first attempt. And even back then, I sort of had some ideas of where I could take the medium. And I'm super glad that I decided to try it out and be brave with it, because I definitely would not have gotten to this point had I not done that. So after I did that video, I realized, hey, you can do some stuff with it. So in December of 2015, I ended up posting a tutorial on YouTube here of how to draw fire with Crayola markers. And it was actually like a double tutorial video, because I also did the same tutorial with Copic markers. And at the time, I kind of played around a little bit on like random scrap pieces of paper, and I was like thinking of ideas as like, I really want to do lava. At the time, I really remember wanting to do that, just because after I did the fire, I was like, lava's gonna look so cool, and I never did it, but maybe one day I'll do it. And it wasn't until years later in 2018 that I started to fiddle a little bit more with them, and it was mostly just kind of adding on to sketches, just, you know, adding a little spice here and there into things, not really like coloring with them, like combining them, mixing them, that sort of thing. And then in October, for some 30-minute challenges that I did at the time, that's when I started to be like, okay, I really want to play around with these more. I really want to see what I can do with them. So in various 30-minute challenges, I took the plunge, used a crap ton of water because I was very scared to use the markers themselves. So I used them a lot more like watercolor. But it was so much fun, and I really loved how they looked. And I was like, I need more of this in my life. I need to figure this stuff out. I want to take it further. So I started doing that. I started it with flowers, just trying that out. And it, oh my gosh, like the more that I did, the more that I fell in love with this medium. The more I was like, I need more Crayola markers. I started to get gradually braver with them. I think probably the big moment for me of being super brave was when I did a lion in Crayola markers, because that was like when that whole piece was just a YOLO from the start. I was like, I have no idea I still don't have any idea what I'm doing, but at the time I like major had no idea what I was doing, and I just wanted to figure stuff out and try and blend with them. And I still was pretty scared putting down straight marker for things. And so I did use a lot of water still, so things are still kind of pale. They're not as strong as they could be. And then in 2019, I started doing a little more, getting a little bit more brave. And you can actually see one of the time lapses that I did as an inverted drawing challenge. I recorded one of the artworks that I did for that. yeah, it's been a journey, and I've been really, really loving them. Also, with that inverted challenge, like I was venturing more with animals and birds specifically, which, I mean, I might have drawn like one or two birds with these markers. Okay, just saying, it's not. There's no obsession. It's just like one or two. But I kept wanting to take things further. I kept wanting to play around, and actually, I bought the whole new Crayola, like their attempt at like a hobbyist student grade branding. Their new supplies. Well, it's not new anymore, but at the time, their new supplies with that. I heard that they were developing new markers, so I was like, I am so on board with this. I'm so excited. And if you watch my Crayola marker review, which I'll also link in the description, but if you watch that, you'll see the devastation when I realized that those markers were alcohol based and not water. But supposedly they do have nicer quality water based markers, which I definitely want to get my hands on at some point. But it's just been nonstop, really. And 2020 was when I just was like, okay, this is the year of Crayola, and it's so much fun. If you you don't have to try Crayola, but just sometimes trying something completely unexpected can give unexpected results. Like going into Crayola, I had very low expectations. You can even like listen to my dialogue in that initial video, that Crayola Marker Challenge video, where I'm like, oh, you can't really do that much with these things. Little did I know, and I have since learned that like effectively, no matter the medium, like you can do a lot with it. You just kind of got to figure things out, play around, experiment, that sort of thing. So that's just what I've been doing this I don't, like I say this last year, but like this last while. And been doing a lot of animals. I've been really enjoying trying out animals and figuring out things like fur and feathers for that like one bird that I drew. And then I was also starting to play around with landscapes. And then one time I did hands, like human hands with various skin tones. And that took freaking forever. And the paper I'm using is absolute trash for this too. I don't recommend it. I'm using Canson Mixed Media XL paper. I chose it because like back when I was doing the initial Crayola markers, marker stuff, where I was like just putting down one color on top of a sketch, I was like, this works pretty well. It's probably fine. Sam, you totally didn't spend a year and a half of your life dedicated to figuring out what's the best cheap watercolor paper for people to use and then decide to use one of the worst options. But yeah, don't recommend this paper. Like if you want to just use straight marker, it's okay. But if you want to add water and play around with it some more, really push it to the limit, then I would definitely recommend heavier paper like watercolor. But with each new piece, I try and like push things and do new things. And then I've also like I've learned so many things about just Crayola the brand. Like, did you guys know that there's more than just the classic rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, gray, black, pink? Like, I think that's all 10, right? You think I would know by now. But they have like a whole bunch of other lines of like the same broad markers, but like a bunch of different colors. So I've gone ham, and I've managed over this last year to get all of them, and they're so cheap. For obviously, like these aren't like archival, like these are gonna fade really quickly. I'll put a link in the description to an archival test that I did, a light fast test that I did. It's pretty shocking how quickly this stuff fades. So like don't like scan your stuff, take pictures of your work and stuff, and don't like sell the originals. But it's crazy. I can't get over how much I love this stuff, and I want to explore it more. I want to try out those other colors more. I've only used them a couple times, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I just wanted to share a little bit on YouTube just so you guys can kind of, you know, get more into my art world, since I don't do much YouTube anymore. So if you want to see more stuff, definitely check me out on Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon. And I actually have a lot of Crayola and water-based marker tutorial stuff on Patreon as well, if you want to check that out and support me alongside of that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. If you'd like to see more Crayola stuff from me, let me know in the description down below, aside from following me from all the other socials that I mentioned. Or let me know in the description. Let me know in the comments down below if there's other Crayola stuff that you want to see from me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!